Did that? It starts going live already. Oops. I forgot once I saved the configuration in Zoom, you're live.
Oh, fun.
So,
and I just share my screen like normal?
Yeah.
Okay.
We got a couple minutes. We can, we'll just chit chat, see what people are coming in.
Okay.
Stop that. Okay. Oh, we got 8 people. How's it going, everybody? Excellent. And make sure audio and video is working for everybody. I was just on there, so it sounds like it's good. Someone up there's the chat. Now the chat's live. Sweet. Rion, Chris, James, Martin, Dr. Bob's here. Excellent. Excellent. Hope everyone's doing well today. You didn't, just a little bit of business before we jump into the fun. Shipped a really cool update to Foundation 6 yesterday. Actually, thanks to Chris for actually some of the updates were inspired by some of his ideas and his projects. So yeah, there's a new setting in the menu stack. So some people are starting to build kind of more complex menus, and sometimes it can be a little hard to see some of the stacks that you've added into the menus because of the way that the edit mode is designed. So there's a new detailed layout button in the menu settings, as well as button groups. So like if you're adding like total CMS toggles or using the agent stack or something like that into there, sometimes those can be kind of tricky to see. So that detailed layout will now allow you to see those. Excellent. Boomer Gooner. Thanks for coming in. Oh, geez. Nice name, Bri. Excellent. So, cool. Without further ado, we have Chris Powers on today. Woohoo!
Hey, everybody.
And yeah, Chris has been an awesome member of the community for quite a long time, right? It's been a long time. He's been a regular at all of the Hangouts, and that's been really cool. And he also spoke at the conference last year as well. So if you attended the conference, you probably watched his talk. And his talk, and I think some other things combined with that, kind of sparked the idea for Weaver-based site. Correct me if I'm wrong, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Weaver-based site is, if you haven't checked it out, it's weaverbasedsite.com. I linked to it in today's live stream email, and we'll make sure we get that in the show notes as well. And it is a different take on RapidWeaver project files. You know, I don't want to spoil it too much. I'll let Chris kind of go into it, but yeah, it's a very interesting take. It's different. It's not like it's not a website in a box per se, right? Which there are some amazing ones out there. Foundation Box, RW Pro do some great ones with Foundation. But Chris has decided to take a different spin on it. And I thought it'd be fun to have Chris on today to kind of talk about his ideas and how his project files can help you out. So without further ado, Chris, I'll give it to you, man.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, everybody. So yeah, it's the Weaver-based site project files. You know, I guess invention's born of necessity, and my need for something like this came when you know, I started ramping up with my my client base, and it got to a point where every single client, I mean, obviously every client you get, you start a new project, and a lot of the stuff that I did for each website is repetition. So, you know, you go in, you set up the site styles, you go in, you set up the if they want, you know, blog list from Total CMS, you set up the blog list, the blog forms, SEO helper, you know, everything is just, you know, copy and paste, and it can take a long time. So, you know, and then also too, like Joe was saying, I attend the Hangouts. I watch these lives every week religiously. You know, I get a lot of good information out of all this, and, you know, I'm always picking up tips and tricks, things to add to my project files. And, you know, I started realizing that, you know, I'd get a new client and I would be like, oh man, I really want that widget from that that project in this. And so I'd go and I'd pull it and, add it into the project file. Well, you do that, 10, 20 times, all of a sudden you've got a pretty big project file that's got a lot of cool stuff in it. And so, when Joe asked me to do the summit talk, I was like, wow, I could show, my process, I guess, and how I work. And it forced me to really organize it and clean it up because it was a complete mess. Yeah, so after the summit, like Joe said, I thought, well, maybe people would want this too. And so I decided to really clean it up and see if I could sell it. And some of you bought it, and I appreciate that. So thank you. I have a small web design company here in San Antonio, Texas, called Graphic Gato. There you go. This has really helped me in that business to quickly get a project started up. And I can get a client, and if I'm at my desk and I just get off the phone with that client, a lot of times I can get a prototype website to them for them to see online within about 2 hours, maybe less sometimes, depending on what they want, just because of this project file. And I guess what I'm going to do is I'll share my screen and I'll show you what the project looks like, once you download it and unzip it and upload it to your server, and and you go in and see it. And I'll show you the admin side, because every client that I get gets an admin portal, and I do that so that they can go in and make changes on their own. But inevitably, I'm the one that does all the changes. It's just the way it goes. And so I've really worked hard at developing the admin portal to be something that works for me. So yeah, so I'll show you all that as well. So with Movie Magic, I've already uploaded the files, and so we can bypass that part. So let me share my screen. Let's see, where is it? Okay, let me move Zoom out of the way. All right, so once you've uploaded all the files, which is like over 2,000 some odd files, it's not a small project, you get this. Gorgeous. Absolute gorgeousness. Look at that. That's it, folks.
Nice.
The YouTube live is over.
That's taking minimalism to a whole new level.
Yeah. So anyway, okay. So that's not, yes, this is actually the project, but here, let me show you the admin side. And I've already logged in. So this is what the admin portal looks like, out of the box. You have the main menu here on the side, and there's nothing in it except the dashboard and the logout button. So if I come down here to settings, though, I can see a bunch of settings. And right off the bat, I'm going to name it. So I'll just put Weaver-based site demo. And actually, you know what? I downloaded a bunch of law firm pictures from Unsplash. So we're going to create a law firm website just as a demo. Actually, we'll just call this Weaver-based site law firm. There we go. Okay, and then put the site URL in there, site description, just some dummy text, and then a site logo. I couldn't find a good logo that I wanted to use, so I'm just going to use my very, very old logo that I created a long time ago. And we'll save this.
Interesting.
All right, so okay, so you scroll down and you have settings for contact information. We'll just put info@sites.com, and then the phone number. So Google likes this format. Oops, one too many characters. And then the phone number link. So this project file uses a lot of macros. It's total CMS macros. And so some of the things in here need to be exact, which is why I give examples in this. So I'm going to put 210, 3, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And that is for the like the tell link, which you'll see in a little bit. And then the address, we'll just put street. Okay. Now I'm going to save it. And if you come over here, you know, you start to see things coming to life. You know, you're starting to see some stuff happening. You got the logo down here in the footer, you got a logo up here, and then the name of the website here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit show on these, and it won't show it just yet, but we'll get there. Okay, so then the settings for contact for SEO, this is all SEO helper. This is going to, you know, help drive your SEO ratings up with Google. And then the messaging info. So there's a message button in here, and you or your client, but reality you, will be able to put the information in here, and then it will just work with the form. You know, it's not magic. It's you know, Joe went over this in one of his YouTube lives and shows how to do it, but I've done it for you. So I'm going to put the emails in here. So Chris 2, and then 2, we'll just put Weaver-based site, website, whatever. All right, and then down here, social media. So you can turn on different social medias. So we're going to just put on these. You can put your URLs in here and the usernames for that. These usernames are for SEO helper as well. I'm going to go ahead and save this so I can refresh over here. So still not there yet. Okay. Well, Chris, is your site broken? Not quite. Give me a sec. All right, so hours operation, we'll put that here. And then the cookie policy, if you want, I'm going to go ahead and bypass that. Okay, so this is probably one of the most important parts of the admin portal, especially when you're getting started, because again, if you look over here, there's nothing. You know, you don't see any pages for editing or blog lists or anything. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on, let's see, updates and messages. I'm going to turn on home, about us. What else I want to show? Services and events. Okay, so I got those going. Settings, footer background. You can use, you can upload a background image. I'm going to go ahead and use, since this is a law firm, this guy. Let that work. Okay, and then the alternate footer logo. That's, you know, I realize that some backgrounds and logos don't quite mesh very well together. So, you know, maybe the company has a light version of the logo and a dark version of the logo. And if the background is dark, they can use a light version instead. So here's a place for you to put an alternate logo for the footer. And then the settings for the code for Google Tag Manager, analytics, and a Facebook pixel if you want. I just broke those up because, you know, not every client understands that all that goes into the head of the website or the body of the website. So I just broke it up like this. And then if your client wants to, if you want to give them the ability to, some color overrides for site-wide changes, background, font colors, things like that. And then a settings password. You know, you can set a password for your client, and then at the end, the site submit, which is from SEO helper. So, okay, so I'm just going to save. Make sure we've saved. Now, in order for the toggles to, you know, be recognized, you got to refresh. So I hate when it asks me that. That means that something didn't save. I'll try it anyway. But anyway, so now you see the logo for the website is now the logo on the main screen of the admin portal. And if I click over here, I now have blog lists that I can edit. And if I click on page content, now I have those pages show up. So it's a way for you to turn on and turn off features for your client if they ever logged in. So first, what I'm going to do is actually show you the home page, because it's still looking kind of sad. I mean, we got the image in the footer now, so that's good. We're getting there. So I did put in here the ability to use a Foundation 6 only banner, but I'm going to do the impact version because I like impact. So we're going to use, let's see, we'll do this image and we'll do this fun image. And then we'll come down here. So banner subtext up here, you can put something underneath that. So I'll just put, we do divorce well. Why not? And then section 1, these can be anything you want. I've just kind of generically named them, but you know, this would typically be like an about us / mission statement type of thing. We'll save it as a or make it an about us. And then I'll have a picture of her, so I'll put her there, and then I'll put some dummy text. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna this, so you can actually turn the image on and off. It won't show automatically. We'll go ahead and turn it on. And actually I should reverse those, I guess. That doesn't make sense. Later. So position will make it left, and the size of the image will make it 33%. So I'm gonna go ahead and save this so we can see what it looks like. So here are banner images. I got a seam in there just to kind of break it up a bit. And then you scroll down and here's the about us. Here's the picture of the girl, the text about her, whatever, come down, and there's the footer. So if you go down a little bit more, we have a mid-page banner section. I like these because they help to break up content. So I'm going to go ahead and put in maybe this picture. And I'll scroll down a little bit more. And this is just a general like information section that I put. So I'll just put some dummy text there and paste some more in, save it. And let's see what that looks like. Okay, so now I have my mid-page banner, which is parallax effect, pseudo parallax, and you know, some text underneath it. So the last section on here is the services. So, you know, a lot of companies, the most common, I guess, title for what people do is services. So I just, you know, put the services page down here. So when you get services, you know, you add them to the blog list, they'll actually show up here, like the latest 3. Or if you want to, you know, mark them as, what is it, important, or, you know, however you want to designate them to be the ones that are your main focus on the homepage. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. It won't really show anything yet, but you'll see it in a minute. And then every page that's in the menu will get something called like the page settings. And these are unique to each page. They're the page title, the link title, and the page description, as well as a social share card. This is all SEO helper centric. And you know, it's a good plan for SEO purposes to make these unique to each page. And if you don't know, the page description and the social share card are what appears, like let's say you want to share my website to Facebook. You know, you put in the URL and Facebook auto generates that really nice looking post with, you know, text and a cool picture. Well, that's what is being driven by this right here. So you can allow your clients or you to go in and, you know, set that up. So I'm going to go ahead and put on here, this is the home page, demo, and then the title, the link title, I'm just going to put home, and then description will just, you know, again, dummy text. So let's save that and come over here. And you notice up here on this tab, when I refresh the page, now it's the name, the site title. And here is the service area, but there's no title for it. And actually, you know what? Let me, oh, I know what didn't save earlier. I know it didn't save. It was something, maybe it did.
With the
Yes.
service
I didn't
hours?
turn it. I didn't turn it on. There we go. There we go. This is for the menu. Sorry, guys. I forgot to turn this on. So if I turn these on, so I have general, which is just, site-wide stuff, your navigation menu, and then the footer elements. So now if I go and refresh, let me put it to the top so you can see it. Now, there we go. Now our menu is taking shape. So here are my social media, the message us. You click on that, you get a nice little drop down. And when they submit this, the information that you put in the settings under the messaging info area is what will drive where this goes and what it says. And then the phone number up here, if I were to click that, you can see the menu. I'm sorry, the menu, the link in the bottom left-hand corner. It looks wrong, but it will work. And then the settings, I'm sorry, the search button will have a drop down so you can do this one's powered by Google. It's, there's a tutorial actually in the stacks, the pen stack for this that shows how to do that. So you see the menu, how it's being pulled from the settings, and then down here in the footer. So now our footer is more or less filled with the information that we want. Just a caveat, some of the stacks in here, obviously aren't Foundation 6 or Total CMS or SEO Helper. Like this one is Joe's direction stack. When you click on it, it will open up a map, and if you're on your phone, it'll open up the Apple Maps app and get you directions to wherever this is. I put it in here just as, I wanted to do the work for you type of thing, but it is not included in the three main stack sets, which Foundation 6, Total CMS, and SEO Helper, as well as Impact. So just a caveat. But I mean, the project file does work without directions or Impact. Okay, so we've got our homepage kind of going, and the cool thing is when I show you the project file, it's not that difficult to move everything around, because no matter what, the hours are going to be the same. The phone number, the email, that's all going to be the same. The logo is going to be the same. You can put this stuff wherever you want using the same macros, and it will still work. So it's really up to you how you want to design the look and feel of it. I've just given you a base to start from, which that's what Joe was kind of referring to when my approach to this project file. It's not going to win awards, this website, but it's going to help you get something started quickly. So, okay, so let's go to over here. So I have my services. So if I click on the services, there's obviously nothing there. I can do a new service, and we'll just put, we'll put divorce, since they excel at this. And I'll put in a picture. We'll do, why not? This one, that picture.
Hope your wife's not home today.
You what?
Hope your wife's not home right now.
No, she's at work. All this talk of divorce, honey. All right, and so, okay, so every blog list and blog form that's in here, and there are quite a few, I put everything in it. So, all the fields are already in there for you. That way, you don't have to worry about, oh, I got to add this, or I got to, add that. It's already here, whether you want to use them or not. And to be honest, all you got to do is, I mean, obviously for this, this purpose, a law firm that has services is probably not going to have an author. So you can change the author to, I don't know, something else, and then use it for that purpose. But for right now, we're just going to do these three right here. We'll save it. And, I didn't let the image load. I'm notorious for doing that. There we go. Let's save it one more time, just for good measure. All right. And I've created, I've done my own custom blog list so that, it looks just, nicer for me. It still works the same as the blog list from the admin stacks. And if I come over here and refresh, I have my service. Now you still see the underscore there. The reason for that is because in my pages under services, the service page, I have not yet set, load. There we go. I have not yet set my page title, link title, or description. So I'll just put services demo, and then we'll just put services. We'll just save that, come back over here, refresh, and now it says services. So, you know, you can name it whatever you want, and it just makes it easier for you to make changes like this on the fly. And then obviously,
I like
if you
that.
click, yeah, if you click this, and hopefully I set it up in my htaccess file. I did not. That's okay. We'll show that later. Like I wiped the server, and I did a clean upload for this, and I need to yeah, that's okay. It's a good thing to show people anyway. So I'm going to add one more service just for fun. So let's see, we'll do child custody. And I've worked with a few lawyers, so
I like your idea in the menu where you have like a little plus sign that goes directly to the new services form.
and you know that actually again necessity. So like if I save this right now, I save, and I'm gonna let the thing. Why are you doing that?
Interesting.
I did not do that. Here, let's try this. There we go. Whatever. Didn't like that one. So let's say I need to add like a lot of services all at once. Instead of hitting the back button or going over here, I can just then come up here, hit the plus up button, and it, new service, so I can really churn them out quickly.
Nice.
Yeah, I try to get as many shortcuts in this as I possibly could. So if I come back over here, refresh, and guess what? You got it. Another service. Awesome. Okay. So let me see what's next. Events. Okay. Same concept. I actually like my events page. Star Wars Day is next week. So we're going to do an event called Star Wars Day. And it is on May the 4th. All day is the time. Location, we're going to make this one indoor. All right. And then let's see. The address, we'll just put indoor system. If Joe's stack works and takes me to indoor system, if I click the directions button, I'll be very impressed. Let's see. Galaxy. All right. So here we have that. I'm going to go ahead and save it. And then up here, the events page is a little different from other pages. So the event logo, I'm going to use Star Wars. Okay. And then down here, I'm going to put a different image, and it's going to be the Ewoks carrying 3PO. So let's save this. Okay. And before I do that, because I know I'm going to do it wrong, I need to go to the events page. Because if you look up here, I only have home and services, right? Because I haven't named the events page. So I'm going to name it events. And the link title is going to be events. Save that, refresh. And now I have my events page. Okay, so if I click the events page, I have my Star Wars event. Now this is definitely not going to work just like the other one was, because I haven't set the htaccess. But all that is just me submitting it once I preview, because I use pretty URLs. So you get the idea of like how this project, once it's uploaded, is structured, how the admin section really drives the content on the actual front side for users to see. So what I'm going to do now is actually show you the project file and get that htaccess thing fixed. So if I open up the project file, this is what you get. You start on the start page, and Joe and I were talking about this last night actually, and you know, this project is big, and it's kind of complex, especially if you're a new user to RapidWeaver and you open this up, it's going to be daunting. I use a lot of pin stacks to nest other pin stacks and partials, and I unpin content areas in partials, and just to make things flow and a lot easier. So Joe had the idea of coming up with a start page. So here's the start page, and it has a couple lessons in it for you to follow. And once you get down here, hit preview me. You do that, and it will show you more information for you to see. I've color coded my pin stacks to help you know what each pin stack is for. And I've kind of given some directions on how things are laid out, some do's and don'ts, and then how the project file works in RapidWeaver. And then down here's an overview video, basically what I'm doing now, just not as fun. That's kind of old too. This video I need to redo because the project's changed quite a bit, and some of the features have changed, but it's still worth a watch. So okay, so let's
awesome. It's the first time I've seen that. I love that. I love the little legend that you created. That's really smart. I like that.
Thank you. Yeah, I was again, I needed something that I would understand. So hopefully
I like the new color palette.
Thank you. Yeah, I did what you said, 60%. And boom, there you go.
Yeah, nice.
So here we'll just show you the home. Oh, I don't want to preview that. So here's the home page. Okay. And if you see on the left-hand side, I have, home, and then I have about us, blog, on and on and on and on down to admin. So this is designed in a way that, let's say that you have a client who's an author. Okay. Well, an author is probably not going to have a drinks menu or, job opportunities, probably not even locations. So you could just select this and delete it. I'm not going to, but you could delete it. And what that will do is it will get rid of the pages that are associated with it to keep your project, down to the minimal that you need. So I've grouped everything to be, here's the job opportunities, and this would be the job opportunities view page. So, if you have the blog list, when you click that, you go to see this page, and that's where you see the blog list.
Very interesting. So let me just recap. So this is, you would start a new project with this file, and then you'd basically delete the pages that you don't need, and you're left with pages that this particular project might want, right?
Exactly.
Cool. That's a really nifty idea. And I like it that it's all compartmentalized. So you have the content page as well as the admin pages all inside that one little thing.
All
That's
there.
Pretty cool.
So you're not, there aren't any stragglers, so to say.
Yeah. And what's kind of cool, I don't know if you've set this up actually this way, but if you were to set up the paths to those pages in the page inspector, like you wouldn't even need to reorganize this. You could just leave all that as is, because the jobs opportunities view page could be, the path of the folder could be /jobs, whereas the admin ones could be /admin/jobs or something like that, right?
Okay.
But, yeah, and because what's interesting about that is the sorry if I'm stealing your thunder a little bit.
No.
The menu, the page menu on the left, it doesn't need to match. I mean, especially with Foundation 6, because most of the time we're building our menus ourselves anyway. Mm-hmm. Because of that, the structure of the pages in this view is irrelevant.
Right.
So
and that's
you can
what I've done.
It be whatever you want. Yeah. So use it to organize your pages into little buckets like you've done here. And that's a pretty cool idea, actually. I like that.
Yeah. In fact, the menu is like a custom menu. It's not a RapidWeaver menu. It's because it uses all those CMS macros, and that's what Joe was talking about earlier. Putting toggles inside of drill downs and things. Wow, was it difficult to work with? But the fix that he did yesterday it's night and day. It's awesome. I wish I had it when I started this thing, but I got it now. So then, okay, so you have the blog page view on this one, and then you get into the admin. So each one is named admin dash whatever page it is, and then let me move this over. I guess I can't. Admin dash, it's going to say page. So I know that this is where I set, you know, like the page settings. So that's this. And then I have, if it has a blog list, I have it here. So this one is job opportunities. So this is the blog list. So it'll show all the list of the entries. And then this is the blog form, which has everything that anyone would need. So that's the same setup for every instance of a page that has a blog. Something like the FAQ, though, does not have a blog view page, because FAQs typically they twirl down and they don't take you somewhere. So that one doesn't have it. But let me go ahead and, while I'm here, go to the event view page. I'm going to preview it. There we go. Submit. Thank you. And my services page. Where are you? And everything is alphabetized for your convenience. So submit. Perfect. Okay. And now, just for fun, we'll go back over here and we can actually see what things look like. So actually, I'm going to show you services first. So you go to the service page, read more. It's very generic. I threw in a few, things. There isn't any content because I didn't put content into the box, but it would show up underneath. The image shows here, and then other services you may be interested in. And, based on the categories or whatever, you can set that to show, like categories for these different blogs. And then if I go back to events and click on it, normally I would get rid of this up here, but you see how that image drives the background and the logo is over it. And then, you come down here and you get, where it's going to be, the date, the time. If you set a purchase tickets link, it'll take you there. And then, this get directions. I don't want to click it and, hyperspace out. So I'm just going to not click it. And then downloads and forms, total CMS is just ridiculous. It's so cool. Like, you can just take a PDF and drag it into the content block, and it will just create a link to that. It's awesome. So those would show up here. And then if I added more images to the gallery or to a gallery, they would show. I have it set to not show if only one image. So since there's only one image, which is this background, it's not going to show anything. But yeah, so you see how, there are different layouts using the same information. I mean, all of this is the same blog form setup that I did with the services page and every other page. It's just the information that is pulled from it is reorganized. And honestly, this page didn't take me very long at all to do. So, okay, so let's go back over here. Now I'm going to show you something that might be scary to a lot of people who aren't familiar with RapidWeaver and pin stacks and nesting pins and things. So this, here's the site top. The site top contains site styles, the color overrides, which you saw in the settings in the admin section, the structured data for the SEO helper, and then, so did I say pin styles? Well, if I didn't, pin styles. So if I come in here, and you can start to open up pins. There's nothing really in this pin. I just wanted to put it in the pin to give you information as to what it is, so you don't delete it by accident, or think you didn't need it. So if I click on that, see how it's another partial. I nested partials. If I double click this one though, here are my site styles. And if you notice, actually, if I preview this, you see how the page looks just awful. Here, let me get that something. All the links are, it just doesn't look right, and you got all this gobbledygook up here. This is all messed up. You don't see an image down here. Everything is showing. that is because this project file, because it uses so many macros and it's just heavy with total CMS, it takes forever to preview, like minutes to preview. And if you're doing, minute changes here and there, you don't want that. So Joe kindly put in an option to, convert or to process the macros just as strings and to make all your toggles either on or off. And it just makes things load so much faster. And I've already set this to streamline edit mode, so it may look a little different from what you're used to seeing. And I've turned off the color palettes just to keep things. It already looks like a lot, so I didn't want to make it look even worse. And then the social media buttons down here are in another pin. You double click on those. Oh, I need to miss that one. Double click on it, and here are all the social media. I mean, these honestly, this is Joe's what's it called, a template that he gave. I just moved things around and made it look a little bit different for my purposes. So yeah, so these are like site-wide styles. And to be honest with you, these are here, but this is like from an old version. They're still relevant, but I've gotten into the habit now of whenever I create something on a page, I always put the swatches that are specific to that component with it. And I usually put it all inside of a pin so I can collapse it and make it look organized and neat. But, there might be a future version of this where I've pulled all these out and, put them next to their individual components. But anyway, so yeah, so these are still relevant and important. So please don't delete them, or delete them, with discretion. And then, SEO helper. Okay, so SEO helper is really cool because you can use total CMS macros. So all that stuff that I put in the settings area is all driving this. So you see right here, and here's my naming convention. I have settings _ site title, settings _ site URL. If it's the home page specific, let me get back out of here and go down to the per page. See how I have settings _ page home title, share card, it's all the naming conventions stay the same across the board. And the reason for that is, let's say that I get a client who wants a page that doesn't have anything to do with any of the pages I have on the left here. And I got to create a whole new blog form, a whole new page, a whole new everything. I can just duplicate this pin stack and quickly come in here and just say, okay, so instead of home, it is now, I don't know, page. I'll just name it new page. Okay, and I can come up here, double click that, new page. So you see, I can quickly, do the nitty gritty stuff in a timely manner, as opposed to sitting there and having to reinvent the wheel yet again. Type in. Put this all back. Okay. So these are per page, that share card, the title, the link, everything, that's all driving that. Top of page announcements. So COVID actually, COVID gave me an idea, because I had a lot of clients who wanted to put, their COVID protocols on their pages, but they didn't want to, add it to the menu, or, they wanted somewhere visible for people to see it, but not really disrupt the flow, I guess, of the web page. So what I did was I came up with this solution. If I go over to updates, actually, I'm going to do this real quick. I'm going to set the updates page real quick. Okay, let's save that. Okay. So if I come over here to updates, and I'm going to do a plus. Okay. So I'm going to name this, COVID protocols. All right. And then because I'm in San Antonio, we have a lot of Spanish speaking citizens. So I'm going to just, let's say that I have an English version and I have a Spanish version. Okay. So I'm gonna hit save. Now, if I go back to the home page though, you still don't see anything. So if I come over to the actual updates area where the blog list is, I can now turn it on. And if I refresh, oh, there we go. Cool. I thought I broke it. So now I have a pop-up that will show what the update is, and it's English and in Spanish. I know it doesn't look like it, but it does show different. And what's nice is that if you only have the one, it will only show English or Spanish. And then if you want, you can say view all, and you can see all of the updates in a list. So if someone wanted to go back and just read past updates. So my clients like that. All right. And then, okay, so here is the fun one. Navigation.
One thing, just to pause really quick, in case people are a little confused on how this page is laid out. What he's done here is he's split up his page and organized it with pen stacks.
Yep.
Right. Pen is a stack that it's a free stack on my site that allows you to add notes and organize things. And he's basically collapsing. You can, if you hide a pen stack, it hides all the content for it. You could still see the notes for it. Right. So, and another thing he's done is, earlier we were talking about a legend. This is where, if you notice, each of these pens kind of is a different color. He's assigned that color so that, I think that aqua color are all like sections of a web page. Right. Yeah. And, I think the yellow is SEO or something like that. Right. Or the more orange color is SEO. I forget. Right. Actually, so yeah. He's color coded all these pens so that when you're going through the project, you're like, you can know what that section is by color. And if you use these same colors across your projects, you can kind of build your own little quick workflow where you can quickly find things because you define the colors, right? And that the orange colors are all SEO stuff, right? Or stuff like that. So really cool ideas here. So sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to make sure that people understood that.
No, I'm glad, because I'm going to miss some stuff because there's a lot to go over. Okay, so this is a partial. So the navigation is a partial because it's going to be on, every page that you want user facing. So if I double click on it, there's a pin in there. So if I double click the pin, now you see, how the navigation is going to be structured. And you guessed it, they're all organized by pins. So I have a separate navigation for small, and then I have a separate navigation for medium and large. And then here's that message light box that you saw earlier, and then that search light box. So if I double click on this, you'll start to see okay, I have two versions in here. Just I have a Foundation 6 contact form, and then I have a Total CMS data store. You can actually use data store as a smaller version of a form, and it will store it into a data store in your admin side. So it'll list out the different entries. It's kind of cool, actually.
And then you can download it as a CSV file. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can download a CSV file. It's pretty powerful. It looks simple, but it's a pretty powerful thing. Okay, so let me twirl down the navigation for medium and large, and you'll see that here's the logo. The visibility is only show for medium and large. I have it animate in. It's sticky, so it can always be at the top of the page. This is a little bit more, I guess, advanced. So I have a drill down menu, and if I double click on it, it takes me to another partial with a pin inside of it. And if I double click on, undo that. So if I twirl it down, you see all of the different macros for Total CMS. The home, about us, everything. So whatever is in here is being controlled again by the admin portal. And the reason why it's in a pin inside of a partial is because I want this same menu to be the one in the small version as well. So this partial is in two places. I change it once here, it reflects across on the other one. The same with the social media icons. If I double click there, it takes me to a partial with a pin inside of it. And I can go in and, it doesn't look right just because it's inside of a partial, but those icons will show. And then each one has a toggle. So you saw how I toggled on Facebook, Twitter, and I think it was Instagram. Each one has its own social _ show FB for Facebook. Same for show TW for Twitter, on and on and on. And it just, I name them that way in case, maybe, what was it? What was Google's social media platform they had that failed? In case they ever brought that back, you can add it to your page with ease.
It was Google Plus.
Google Plus, that's right. That's right. All right, so you kind of see how the menu is organized, and that's, this is one of the more complex, I guess, nesting of stacks. And you shouldn't be afraid to really go in and look at this. If anything, this is a good learning project. Learn from my mistakes. I've tried to make things as easy as possible for someone to go in and actually make a change. It looks like a lot, but if you're familiar with Foundation 6 and the swatches, it's really not that difficult to go in and make changes. And then, you see the banners, the login to admin, that's just for my project demo site for people to actually click on it. You can go into the admin side, log in with, I think it's like demo123 at, and then you can make changes and see how, your changes reflect on the actual front facing side of the project. And then these are the different sections. So this is where that girl with her information is. This is all being controlled by some custom CSS that I got from Joe, actually. It's just a float. That's all it is. It's just making it float. And you can make it go left, right, or on top, and set the image whatever size you want it to be. I think actually that's over here. Yeah, float image, CSS class. And then, cookie disclaimer, that's something I didn't turn on, but, I have it with call to actions and without call to action. Call to action is a great stack if you want. If you don't have call to action and you turn the cookie disclaimer on, it will show every time. If you have call to action, you can set it to show, every session, every few days, however long you want. And then, the footer. And so here's the footer. It's a partial with a pin stack in it, and it has all the footer stuff. So this is that alternate footer logo. It's inside of a pin just to make it organized. Because you can see, like, if I didn't have it inside of a pin, like how big these stacks are, your page would go on forever. And, to go back and forth editing things, it just makes it look a little bit nicer and cleaner. The hours of operation, that's all that is settings _ hours, I'm sorry. And then, the contact, you can go in, you can toggle on the phone number to show, the email, you can toggle the entire contact section to show. There's a lot of control that you have in here. And then down here, give yourself some credit. So over here on the page, down at the bottom, it just said designed by Graphicato. And then if you see, it says copyright 2021, Weaver-based site, law firm. So this will update every year on its own with a macro.
Sweet.
Yeah, thank you, Joe. Again, a lot of thanks to Joe and the community. You guys, there are a lot of really smart people who are very helpful in this community. So I'm very, very appreciative of everyone. So let me close this up and get back out. Okay, and so that's the front side. I'm going to try to go over the admin portal really quick. So there's one stack that is definitely a need, a necessary need in this, and that is Limelight by Big White Duck. Limelight allows me to have like this top part, and down here at the bottom, and even over here with the menu, that is all like a shell. And whatever's in here is being controlled or being served up by Limelight. So in the admin section, this dashboard page, you see it's very simple. It's just welcome to, admin area and then the image. And if you come over to the dashboard, that's all it is, this page. The real, I keep doing that, the real like meat of all this comes in the admin, the main admin page. And it's a bit of a doozy. So I've already rolled the pin down or opened the pin up, but you can see like this is not small. And there's a lot going on here. Look at all the buttons. I mean, every button can be turned on with a toggle. It's all automatic. So I try to do it to where one toggle will control everything. So over here in the admin section, if I go to settings and I come to components, and let's say that I don't want home to be on anymore for some reason. I don't want people to be able to see the home page. So I just turn it off and I come over here, and now home is gone from the main page. And I gotta refresh. And it's also gone from the pages over here. So I did it this way. So in case you didn't want to delete everything over here, you could just toggle them off or toggle them on and use them whenever you wanted to. So you don't have to. I mean, if you don't mind uploading a bunch of files to your server and having them there, you can just upload the files. You can just toggle everything off in settings. So you see all the different menu items that you have. These are all the blog lists and blog post pages. And then down here, this is the real important one, the Sections Pro, along with Limelight. Sections Pro is what everything is being loaded into. And then Limelight for buttons. These are all corresponding Limelight things for those menu buttons. You can see why pin is very important. Even I'm looking at this like, oh my God, that's a lot. And then, the settings button for the lower left, that's this guy right here. And then I have a little support button that opens up an email support ticket that I've already preset to send me an email, because, if I have a client, they're gonna, and they actually do log into this and they need support, it's gonna go to me. But you can obviously change it to your email. And that's what the settings button looks like with all the swatches. And this is what I meant by putting swatches with elements.
And all those little doohickeys on those little settings buttons, that's all Foundation 6 stuff. That isn't any special staff. It's pretty cool, right?
Yeah. And that was one thing, like I love the swatch pack. I bought it day one, and that thing is so cool, but I've made it my mission on this, at least this version of the project, to not use swatch pack swatches. I wanted to try to accomplish everything that I wanted to do with F6 only. And it's pretty incredible the things that you can get away with just by using swatches out of the box. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. So then I have down here just the date and time that I don't know. I put that there because every admin portal seems to have a date and time, and I wanted mine too to have one as well. So, I can't remember how I did it actually. Oh, it's down here.
There's a little JavaScript.
JavaScript, yeah, just a JavaScript, a Foundation 6 JavaScript stack, and some HTML. That's all it was. And then, the total CMS admin core. That's it. that's the project file. If I were to look at the events page, the events page is kind of a copy of the food menu page. I added some more seams down here because I wanted it to look like a chalkboard. But the job opportunities, kind of the same. I added a depot so you can put a job application that people could download, or other forms that people could download. So everything is more or less the same. It's just they have a little bit extra or a little bit less depending on the type of page.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's a big project, but once you really get in there and start messing with it, you'd probably be shocked at how different you can make every single iteration of this look. So every time you get a new website to do, you know, everything's a macro. The sky's the limit on your design.
Sweet. So someone asked, I think the answer to this is yes, but just want to make sure. Did you already update this project? I think I saw you ship an update this morning with the new detailed layout fix for all the various menus.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever this is showing is what was shipped.
Cool. Yeah. So the answer to that is yes.
Yeah, and that's for I have two projects. One is called Rebar, and the other one's called Caisson. And Rebar is for those who use Easy CMS, and then Caisson is for Total CMS. And what's really cool, just as like a PSA, I guess, what's really cool about Easy CMS is Total CMS is free to download, but to use it, you need a CMS license. That's what you pay for. So when I made Rebar, I used Total CMS stacks because in case you ever want to upgrade that Easy CMS site to a Total CMS site and use blogs or galleries, all you have to do is throw in a Total CMS core, put your license in, and you don't have to swap out 1,000 stacks. So it just kind of makes your life easier for an upgrade. And it's incentive. I mean, Total CMS is so worth it. It's so worth it.
Thank you. James has a question. So do you recommend a workflow on starting with this like duplicating this project and starting it as your starting base, or have an existing project file and drag and drop these pages inside?
I've tried both, and just to see, because I mean that's a good question, and I asked myself that very same question. I tried to do it where I tried moving things into an existing project, and it did not go very well. Just because of the way that all the macros are connected, and it's like everything's wired already, and I didn't want to have to reconnect or try to rig wires together that didn't originally fit, and it became and so what I've ended up doing, and I've done this already now for a couple projects that are Foundation 1 projects, was I opened this up, I saved it as a new project, and I just started dragging in content and making it, then adjusting the settings, and it was such a fast workflow for me. And whenever I do a new project, I'll duplicate this one and just go into settings, turn on the pages that I want, set the site settings, and then start designing. And it's a very, very nice feeling to not have to reinvent the wheel every single time.
So one minor thing I would also recommend is once you kind of have the structure of your site set up, like let's say you don't need job opportunities or food menu, right? Mm-hmm. So you delete those pages. There are things that reference those in some of the other admin pages. I'd recommend just go ahead and clean some of that stuff up as well. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
So that should be part of the step is that cleanup process, because
right.
Those are using CMS toggles and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And if you know that you're never going to use those things, delete them so that Total CMS isn't trying to look for those toggles to see if it needs to turn something on or off when we know for 100% definite that it's not going to be there, right? So yeah,
exactly.
Yep.
And I've set it up to where in the site, the admin settings page, all those sections are right here, all in different pen stacks. So you could easily come down to the site components section, and then if you're never going to use the blog or the contact, you just delete these grid cells, and those toggles are gone.
Yep.
And then
Scott has another interesting idea. Instead of deleting the page, you could just set it to draft in the RapidWeaver page inspector, and that means it would never publish. So
exactly, that's actually a great
idea
great
as well.
Point. Yeah.
That gives you the ability to expand in the future, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's a really good idea. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that is I don't know, what time is it? an hour's worth of what
Yeah. Well,
the
thanks, Chris. That's awesome, dude.
KSON project file is.
So what's next for Weaver based site? What are you thinking? Like, what, you got anything new cooking up outside of this, or?
Honestly, I've been trying to really get this to, I mean, I have more ideas for this. I have more I want to add to it, and, I'm always expanding it. And, you can, if you go to the Weaver based site website, I have a few freebies on there that I've been playing around with. Like, I wanted to challenge myself to make a Star Trek LCARS, computer interface type of thing for a website. And so just using the Columns Pro Stack. The Columns Pro Stack scared me when I first saw it, because I mean, it's not like anything that I was used to using, and I would avoid it at all costs. And then one day I was like, I need to learn how to do this. So I did this project with it, and man, I love Columns Pro. It takes a lot for me to not go into an existing project and swap out 2 columns for a Columns Pro and redo the work, because I like the way it looks. But yeah, there's some freebies on there, and I'm, whenever I have an idea of something, I'll make a freebie and throw it up there. I'm actually working on a couple of like blog list layouts that are kind of fun, so, but really it's getting this thing perfect.
Sweet. Now,
Yeah.
also, everyone, make sure you check out. So I put his the website in the chat, as well as make sure you check out the Weaver space on the community site.
Yeah.
So I created a space on there just for Chris for Weaver based site. So you can, if you want to keep up with any announcements, or, talk to Chris about things that he's doing or working on, that would be a great place. I'll put the link to that inside the chat as well for everybody.
Yeah. I hope this was fun, everybody. I mean, I love this community, and we have a lot of really cool people with a lot of great ideas, a lot of great designers, and it's an honor to actually be a part of this. And so I thank you all for being here and listening to me.
Some people are asking in the chat. So it is the KSON project, not the Bedrock is the one that uses Easy CMS, right?
Right. I'm sorry. I said Rebar earlier. It's Bedrock. Bedrock is the Easy CMS one. Right. So
yep. So the one we looked at today was KSON.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. That's cool. That's the kitchen sink, basically, of it all.
Excellent. Well, Chris, if you have a few more minutes, like what do you how'd you get into RapidWeaver? Just curious.
So God, I don't even know how long I've been using it, but I started out actually with a WYSIWYG editor, and I found Foundation, back in the day, and oh man, what was that one called? Where it was the 3 different panels, and you had the preview in the middle. You can have Coda. It was Coda. So I got Coda, and I just kind of taught myself Foundation, to program.
The hand coding, right?
Hand coding.
Yeah, the open source project.
I loved it. I mean, it was so easy to learn, hard sometimes to implement, but easy to learn. Like it spoke to me. Like I got how it worked. And so I tried Foundation before that, though. Foundation, I'm sorry, RapidWeaver before that, and I didn't like it because it seemed too iWebby to me. And it just didn't seem like there were a lot of functions or features that were going to benefit me. And so I kind of got away from it and went to Foundation. And then I discovered that you had Foundation stacks, and I was like, well, I guess I'm a RapidWeaver user now. And and so I started doing that, and oh my God, world was opened. And then like Foundation 6 comes out, and I just kept thinking to myself, I wasted so much money on stacks, because you can do anything with Foundation 6. It's insane, the flexibility that you have with this stack set. And so, but yeah, I mean, I started out just needing to build a website, and I just taught myself Foundation, like by hard code or hand coding it. Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, bud. It was a good time. It looked like everyone really was blown away by your project. So yeah, everyone go check out that project file, go buy it today, and start learning. Join his Weaver based site space on there. I'm in there as well. So we can't wait to see more people using it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, are you on social media? How can people connect with you?
Yes. What is it? I think everything is at Weaver Based Site.
Okay, cool. So
Yeah.
Weaver
Twitter,
based site
YouTube,
everywhere.
yeah, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And I'm still waiting to get my vanity URL for my YouTube channel. So
Okay, everyone go subscribe to Weaver based site so that
yeah,
he
so I
can
get
go
my
get
my
his vanity
exactly.
URL. I think you need like 500 subscribers or something like that.
They knocked it down to 200. They were
Oh,
very
really?
nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So everyone that's on this call today,
Yeah.
go check out Weaver Based Sites YouTube channel. Go subscribe so that Chris can get his vanity URL.
Exactly. And
Cool.
watch my one video. More to come.
Excellent. Cool. Well, thank you very much, Chris. I appreciate it. We'll see
Thank
you on
you. I
Friday at the
appreciate it.
Hangouts, right? Everyone
Yes,
join
sir.
me and Chris at the Hangouts on Friday. Chris is always there. So yeah, this Friday, 1:30 p.m. Pacific. Yeah, it's a great time. We have a good time.
We do.
Cool. Thank you very much for coming on today, Chris. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.